Entei is back with the Indigo Disk DLC and is allowed to be used in Regulation F, but is it worth using? If you're on the fence, then maybe this video will convince you to give the legendary beast a try. If you want to see more VGC content from me, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're aiming for 200 likes on this video, and if we can hit that, I'll try my best to keep this content going. Once again, big shout out to Ad from the Battle Hub Discord for creating this team. Be sure to join the Discord server for all your battling needs. There is a link in the description down below. And with that being said, let's jump straight. Okay, our first opponent is Christian, and they've brought a pretty interesting team, with the Abomasnow and the Frostmoth being interesting, Swampert and Mousehold, Metagross, and Dragapult. So, I feel like Entei does really well here if we can get rid of that Swampert, so I'm going to pair it with Rillaboom as a lead. Chien-Pao definitely does work here, so I am going to bring that 100%. And then I think the Porygon 2 does pretty well in regards to taking care of that Dragapult nicely. I don't think we need Intimidate from Gyarados too much, so I am going to bring Porygon 2, and then we'll just kind of go from there. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Christian. So they're going to lead off with Abomasnow and Frostmoth, which is interesting, as we lead off with Entei and Rillaboom. So not the worst matchup in the world. We do get the Grassy Surge up, which is going to benefit the Abomasnow slightly with its attacks, especially if they have Grassy Glide, but not that really matters to my current Pokemon that I've got on the field. So I'm going to go for a Sacred Fire on the Abomasnow because I feel like they're going to set up an Aurora Veil, and then I'm going to Fake Out on the Frostmoth. I think that is the best thing to do here. So Fake Out comes through, does some nice damage to the Frostmoth. We get the Sacred Fire off on the Abomasnow, and despite... Ooh, it actually lived because it has a Focus Sash. Interesting. So it has the Focus Sash, but it does get burned, which is great. The burn is nice. However, they're probably going to go for a Blizzard here. Oh no, they go for Aurora Veil. Perfect. So the Abomasnow does go down the next turn to the burn, which is great. And the Frostmoth is flinched. So we're in a good position. Then again, it got some grassy terrain. Will the burn actually not KO now? It doesn't KO. That's interesting. So, with that in mind, let's Sacred Fire the Frostmoth. And we will go for a Grassy Glide on the Abomasnow just in case it goes for an Ice Shard. So we go for a Grassy Glide on the Abomasnow to take it out, which is great. As the Abomasnow now goes down, a pesky Focus Sash kept it intact. And now we go for a Sacred Fire with the Entei, and unfortunately... Oh no, I thought we missed then. And down goes the Frostmoth. So brilliant start to this game. Absolutely fantastic start to this game. The snow looks really nice on this battle background, by the way, doesn't it? It looks so nice. Okay, in comes Mousehold. This thing is a threat. It outspeeds everything on my team right now. Well, not everything. Everything that I've got on the field. And so does Dragapult. So Dragapult is here. So with that in mind, I think the best thing for me to go for is that double attack on the Mousehold. So Grassy Glide plus Extreme Speed should take care of it. And then it'll just be the Dragapult versus our entire team. They're actually going to Terastalize. And what are they going to Terastalize here? Are they going to go for the Dragapult? Maybe? Yeah, no, it's the Mousehold. Okay, so the Mousehold is going to Terastalize into a normal type, trying to maximize the damage output on that Population Bomb, which we know is coming. But let's see if our Extreme Speed plus... Oh, wow. That didn't do nearly enough damage. And Grassy Glide is going to do even less. No, it didn't. It did more. Interesting. So they go for the U-turn on the Rillaboom with the Dragapult, and they are proving to be Life Orb. Now they go for a Population Bomb on the Entei, which is definitely going to take us out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 hits is all it took to take out Entei. So Entei did good this game. It took out 2 Pokemon, did some damage to the Mousehold. But now we got to take care of that Mousehold because it is a big threat. So what I'm going to do now is, now that the Dragapult has decided, you know what, I'm Life Orb, I'm going to go for U-turn, show that I've got U-turn. I think we bring in Chien-Pao. Now Chien-Pao has a Focus Sash, so we can definitely take any hit that Dragapult wants to throw at us. So what I'm going to do is go into Chien-Pao. There we go. And I feel like they go for the... No, I better take care of this this problem that is the Mousehold, right? So I think I should protect here. I think I should go for a Sacred Sword on the Mousehold because we outspeed it, and a Grassy Glide on the Mousehold. I think that's the play to go. So I'm going to go for it. I want to take care of that Mousehold. Oh, never mind. We KO with Grassy Glide. That's bad damage calculations by my half, because now we're going to Sacred Sword the Dragapult, and that's not going to work out very well for my Chien-Pao. So they go for a U-turn on the Rillaboom, which is actually perfect because it means my Chien-Pao retains its focus sash as the Rillaboom does go down. And then we obviously Sacred Sworded here on the Mousehold, which is going to go onto the Dragapult, which doesn't affect it, but it is what it is. We haven't lost base on that play. It's not that big of a deal. So now we've got Porygon. And this is where we double team the Dragapult. So I'm going to go into Porygon like so. Get that download, which boosts my special attack, which is perfect. Going to go for that Icicle Crash. I would go for Sucker Punch, but let's go for Sucker Punch. Let's just go for Sucker Punch Ice Beam combo and then just take it out. Sucker Punch comes through. Down. Oh, it lived. It lived as it goes for the Dragon Darts on the Chien-Pao, but the snow that they set up earlier is going to prevent us from going down as the Life Orb is able to nearly take them out. Ice Beam comes through. Down goes the Dragapult, and that's going to be the game. So a good start to the session, really. Okay, our next opponent is here. They've got a very threatening looking team. They've got that Flutter Mane, the Smeargle as well, which is cool. Cresselia, Tornadus Incarnate, Flamigo, and an Alolan Muk. So I'm looking at this matchup and I'm thinking Entei does alright here. That Assault Vest is going to really help against the Flutter Mane. So I am going to lead with Entei. They probably lead with Tornadus or the Flutter Mane, I would guess, or Smeargle. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to bring along Chien-Pao as a lead because it does really well against their team. I think that's the right play. And then I'm going to bring the Raging Bolt for that Thunderclap against the likes of the Flamigo and the Flutter Mane if we need that priority. And then I'm also going to bring Porygon 2 because it does really well against their entire team except from Flamigo and to an extent Alolan Muk. So that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully this works out. And the battle begins. Nice mask. That looks really cool. So they're going to send out the Alolan Muk and the Smeargle as we send out Entei and Chien-Pao. So not a bad first turn at all. Because what we can do now is we can go for Extreme Speed on the Smeargle, and then we can go for a Sacred Sword on the Smeargle as well. And if the Entei does take it out of the Extreme Speed, which I doubt it will, then the Sacred Sword will hit the Muk. So they go for a Fake Out on the Chien-Pao, which is fair enough. That's absolutely acceptable. We go for an Extreme Speed. Takes him right down to the sash. Right down to the sash, which is amazing. So Smeargle is very frail, isn't it? Very frail. So they are going to flinch our Chien-Pao, which is unfortunate, as they go for a Minimize with the Alolan Muk. Now, this is where luck starts to play into it. And they have Moody on their Smeargle. Of course they do. Of course they do. So, with that in mind, I say we go for an Extreme Speed once again on the Smeargle. And this time we go for a... I want to go for an Icicle Crash. I know it's got less accuracy than 100, so it's probably not going to hit the Alolan Muk, but I'm going to try it anyway. See if it does work. So they go for a Follow Me on the Smeargle. Now, luckily, we have gone for an Extreme Speed here, which means that despite the fact that the Alolan Muk is now protected from Follow Me, because the Smeargle's gone down, the Icicle Crash will still hit the Alolan Muk, well, provided it actually hits, thanks to the Minimize and all that. So they've now got Moody on their Alolan Muk, which is a really cool strategy. We go for an Icicle Crash, and we do unfortunately miss thanks to the Minimize, as they go for another Minimize. Is this what VGC is? Just Minimize? And they get the Moody boosting their special defense, but lowering their defense. Now, if we can hit the Alolan Muk, we'll be in a very good position. I think we're going to have to double down and both aim at the Alolan Muk, as they are going to bring in the Cresselia. So Cresselia, I imagine, is more of a support-based Pokemon. So I'm going to go for the Sacred Fire and the Icicle Crash once again on the Alolan Muk, and just hope that one of them hits. They go for a Protect with the Alolan Muk. Of course they go for a Protect with the Alolan Muk, as we go for an Icicle Crash, which is going to bounce right off that protective barrier. And so is the Sacred Fire. So we did double down on the Alolan Muk, but it's fine. We can handle it. Let's see what the Cresselia is going to do and what it's all about. So they go for a Moonblast, which isn't going to take out a Chien-Pao, no doubt. There we go. And now they're going to get a Special Attack boost and a Speed lower on the Alolan Muk. So, poor. I'm going to go for an Icicle Crash. I'm going to go for an Icicle Crash, and I am going to double down on this Muk still, because that Cresselia is not too much of a concern to me, because this Muk is just impenetrable at the moment. It's very much impenetrable. So we go for a Sacred Fire and an Ice Crash. They both miss thanks to that 4 times evasiveness increase. They go for another Moonblast, and that's going to take out Chien-Pao. So Chien-Pao goes down. Are we going to lose to an Alolan Muk Minimize? Our first game in Pokeball tier, and we're going to lose to an Alolan Muk with Minimize, as it gets to +6 with its Minimize. That's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. So they get the Moody, which boosts their speed sharply, but also lowers their attack, which is kind of nice. So that's not too bad. So now we've got a choice to make. What do we do? Because I have no way. I'm going to have to go into Raging Bolt. So we've got Entei and Raging Bolt tag teaming up. And I think what we need to do here is, because we're going to get that booster energy, which is going to boost a stat of ours, which is going to be special attack. I'm going to go for a double down on the Cresselia, because I feel like the Alolan Muck goes for that Protect right now. So I'm going to go for that attack on there. So there the Alolan Muck does go for a Protect, which is great. So that means we can focus all our fire on Cresselia, as Sacred Fire is going to come through. Does a lot of damage with a critical hit, which is nice. We deserve that. And Dragon Pulse is going to come through and does even more damage, which is great. So they go for a Psych Up. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Has that Cresselia just copied the +6 evasiveness? You are having a giraffe right now. Huh. That is unfortunate. So I'm going to go for an Extreme Speed, and then I'm going to go for a Dragon Pulse on the Cresselia. I feel like that's the play to go for. Yeah, we're going to miss because it's got +6 evasiveness. As they go for a Lunar Blessing, which is a move that heals both Pokemon on the team. We actually hit the Dragon Pulse though, which is nice. But because they've had a special defense boost... Oh, wow. What is this game? What is this team that I'm facing right now? This is just like... Well, toxic. The minimize Psych Up play is incredible. So they're going to get a special type boost and a special defense lowering, which is all well and good. We need to take out this Cresselia though. So I'm going to go for another Dragon Pulse Extreme Speed combination and hope that I hit the moves. So Extreme Speed misses, which is unfortunate. But can we hit the Dragon Pulse at least? As they go for another Lunar Blessing. They actually outspeed us now. Oh no, they outsped us anyway, didn't they? Oh dear. So we go for Dragon Pulse. Of course we miss once more. Not a lot we can really do here. So what I'm going to do is... We all know how this battle ends. I'm just going to skip to the end. Okay, so we're making some progress. We actually hit a Sacred Fire on the Entei, and we just hit Dragon Pulse as well. So the Cresselia is down, which is better than I expected. I was literally so close to forfeiting because they were just toxic stalling me while I missed moves. And it's like, it's just so toxic. Like, it's a legitimate playstyle, I admit that, but this is partially why a lot of people don't like VGC, which is fair enough. So let's see how we can take care of this Muck now. They've already gone for a Protect that turn. So we have got a chance to KO them here, as they do bring out, what's that going to be? The Flamigo. So that's going to get Co-Star, and it's going to copy the stat changes. So it's an automatic Psych Up, as they also pop a White Herb, which boosts their lower defenses. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to go for a Thunderclap on the Flamigo, just in case we can get a hit off. And I'm going to go for a Sacred Fire on the Muck. So Thunderclap actually hits, which is nice. Nearly takes out the Flamigo, it does over half. They go for an Acrobatics though, and that's going to take out the Entei. So Entei did good this game. It hit the Cresselia, which is nice. I'm glad to see Entei putting in the work, as the knockoff is now going to go ahead and take out the Raging Bolts, which means all we've got left to take on a Flamigo, a fighting type with boosted stats, and a Muck that can knock off a Violet, is Porygon 2. So this is not going to go well for us, I don't think. So I'm going to bring Porygon 2 in now, and let's just hope for the best. Let's just hope for the best here. So we do get the download, which boosts our attack, which sucks. And now I'm going to go for a Ice Beam on the Flamigo just to see if we can get a hit off. So close combat comes through. It's definitely going to take us out, right? Nearly takes us out. As it does lower the defenses, which is nice. It does lower the defenses. As the knockoff is now going to go ahead and nearly KO us. So we've got a chance here to take out the Flamigo at least, if we can hit this Ice Beam. As we don't hit the Ice Beam as expected. And now the next turn, we're probably going to go down. What a game. What a game. I'll just end this one here. Okay, so it looks like we haven't got to face a minimized team again, which is nice. So they got Fluttermane, Chi-Yu, oh wow, Walking Wake, Rillaboom, Whimsicott, and Incineroar. Pretty solid team. Pretty solid team. So I feel like Entei does actually put some work in here, because they've got 2 grass types, and we've got some Pokemon that are susceptible to the extreme speed as well. So I am going to bring Entei. It doesn't have to worry about the Intimidate from the Incineroar as well, which is nice. And then I'm also thinking about Gyarados. I feel like that's not the right play though. So I'm gonna lead off with Chien-Pao, just to get some damage off initially on their entire team. I think that's going to be ideal. And then I'm going to bring the Rillaboom to get that priority Grassy Glide off on the Fluttermane and the Walking Wake if they're boost strategy. And then I'm leaning towards Porygon 2 or Gyarados. I think I'm going to go Gyarados for that Intimidate. That'll be nice for the Rillaboom. It'll be nice for the Incineroar as well. So let's go for it. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun. So they're going to lead off with the Incineroar and the Whimsicott, as we lead off with Entei and the Chien-Pao. So it's not a bad matchup. Sword of Ruin's going to lower this Incineroar's defenses, which is nice. They do get the Intimidate off on the Chien-Pao, not the Entei though because of Inner Focus. As now, I'm going to go for a Sacred Fire on the Whimsicott, and then I'm going to Sacred Sword the Incineroar. I think that's probably the best thing to do. And one of them is probably going to go for a Protect. So they go for a Fake Out on the Chien-Pao, which breaks our Focus Sash. As now they go for a Tailwind with the Whimsicott. So it's a Tailwind team, which is interesting. Chien-Pao is going to flinch, but we get the Sacred Fire off on the Whimsicott, which is great. Takes it right out, incinerates it to pieces. Entei's putting in the finest of work, you know, this session. It's really putting the finest of work. I'm enjoying it. In comes whatever that is, which is going to be the Walking Wake. Behind a Tailwind, pretty terrifying stuff. Do I Terra? Do I Terra Normal here? Because we are Assault Vest. I think a Terra Normal Extreme Speed. Did I actually click the Terra button? I did. Extreme Speed Terra, there we go. And then I'm also going to Sucker Punch the Walking Wake as well. I think that's the best way to go about this. So there we go. They're going to Terastallize as well. What type are they going to turn into, though? Are they going to Terastallize the Walking Wake? They are going to Terastallize the Walking Wake into a nice and powerful Water type. So that's going to be threatening with that Hydro, Steam, or Surf, or whatever it's got. Probably not Surf, because Incineroar is obviously a thing. But then we're going to Terastallize as well into a pure normal type for our Entei, just to maximize the power of that extreme speed. Let's see how this plays out for us. So there we go. We've got a giant diamond on our heads, looking amazing. And let's go for that extreme speed, and hopefully the damage output is acceptable. So we go for the extreme speed. There we go. Let's see how much damage this does to the Walking Wake, as it does over half, which is nice. Very nice. As we go for a Sucker Punch now, and that is obviously going to nearly take out the Walking Wake. Doesn't fully take it out because of obviously the Intimidate earlier with the Incineroar, but we definitely did a good job of it. So Chien-Pao goes down, but it's fine. We can still handle this, as the Incineroar is going to go for a knockoff, which is going to knock off our Assault Vest, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. So now I'm thinking Gyarados. I'm really thinking Gyarados. So I'm going to go for Gyarados, the Rank Master. Nice. So there's Gyarados coming in. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. We get that Intimidate off on the Incineroar. Is going to be very useful. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go for another Extreme Speed to take out the Walking Wake. And then we'll go for a Waterfall on the Incineroar. I think that's probably the best way to go. So they're actually going to withdraw the Walking Wake. They do not want it to get hurt by the Extreme Speed. And they're going to bring in probably the Fluttermane, if I had to guess. Yep, Fluttermane is in. So with Fluttermane in, we are in a bit of a pickle because Extreme Speed doesn't work, which means our Terra Normal is useless other than being immune to Shadow Ball. And now they go for a Parting Shot on the Gyarados to lower its attack. And they have to go back into Walking Wake now. So we do get the KO with a Walking Wake with a Waterfall. It should KO from where it's at. But we are lowered in our attack on the Gyarados. Now luckily we do have the Rillaboom in the back with a Grassy Glide, which can definitely take care of the Fluttermane to an extent. So we go for a Waterfall. There we go. There we go. So Waterfall comes through, takes out the Walking Wake, and then that brings the Incineroar back in, which can then get another Intimidate off, which is really unfortunate. So let's see how this plays out. So in comes the Incineroar once again. Nice and powerful. I love Incineroar. It's so cool. Inner Focus is going to protect us from the Intimidate, which is nice. And then the Gyarados is going to get some lowered attack, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? Let's go for a Sacred Fire on the Fluttermane. I can't remember its name then. And let's go for a Waterfall on the Incineroar. That's probably the best way to go about this. So they go for another Fake Out because they've just been brought in, which is fair enough. Moonblast is going to come through. We don't live despite the fact that we were an Assault Vest build. Obviously our Assault Vest was knocked off, but we've still got investments because Fluttermane is just that powerful. It is just that powerful. So Gyarados is unfortunately going to flinch here, but the Tailwind does wear out, which is great. Not really, it doesn't really make a difference because we're still outsped by the Fluttermane no matter what. So let's see what we can do here. Bring in Rillaboom nice and shiny, get that Grassy Terrain up, which is great. It's going to boost the power of our Grassy Glides and make them priority, which is amazing. Grassy Glide should do a lot of damage to the Fluttermane. I don't think it KOs, and then Waterfall should be able to finish off the Fluttermane after that, I'm hoping. So Grassy Glide comes through, does way too much damage as they go for a Moonblast on the Gyarados, who is able to live, eat his Citrus Berry, which is amazing. Is it Citrus Berry or is it something else? Yeah, Citrus Berry. Get some health back, and then we go for a Waterfall to take out the Flutter Mane. So panic averted. We're actually in a decent position. We're actually in a very decent position. So let's see what this Incineroar does here. So they go for a Flare Blitz on the Rillaboom, which is definitely going to do a lot of damage, but it doesn't take it out as they get some massive recoil, which is fantastic. So what I know for sure is that Rillaboom actually outspeeds Incineroar, so we should have the game here. So let's go for that high horsepower. Let's go for that Waterfall. Let's tag team up on the Incineroar and end this game. So high horsepower comes through. There we go. They're going to pop a berry, which is fair enough. Popping a berry is definitely useful. But I'm pretty sure we win this game still as we go for a Waterfall with the Gyarados. Nearly take them out. It could flinch them though. But they go for a knockoff, and that's not going to do much to the Gyarados because we've already consumed their item. So now this next turn, all we have to do is go for a simple Grassy Glide, take out the Incineroar, go for a Waterfall as well, why not? Double down on it. The battle cancel, they forfeit because they know they've lost, and that is going to be the game. And that is the end of the session. So I'm thinking 3 battles a session. What do you guys think about that? Maybe more? Like, how long is the perfect session, really? So... But yeah, here is the team created by Ad from the Discord server. Go ahead and try it out. Use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.